I must express my anguish. The psychology of complaining. Welcome to the seventh part of Ayyub. We've been doing Ayyub for some time now. Ayyub meaning Job, looking at the life of Job and learning from each chapter how his pain, his difficulties, and his grief can be. We can get how we can get lessons from the things that he went through, and how we can relate with him, and how we can help those two who are in the place of grief, the place of difficulties, and in the place of pain. Now, for this part 7, we'll be talking about the psychology of complaining from the book of Job, chapter 7, where Job, talked about, he made emphasis on that is he not allowed to complain from chapter 6. Then, chapter 7, he went on complaining, saying, I must express my anguish. I must express my anguish. He says, am I not supposed to complain? I am in this state. See, if my grief is weighed, it will be heavier than the sand in the seashore. Now, the question is, are we supposed to complain? Why I ask this question is because a lot of people, so, most likely Christians too, say um, we are not supposed to complain. We are supposed to be grateful. We are supposed to thank God in good times and in bad times. All those things are scriptural and they are very good. But I also dare to say as well that you can still complain, but depending on your state of mind. Of course, you cannot complain of from the place of doubt, from the place of fear, from the place of anger, from the place of you know hatred towards God. That is far from it. As human beings going through some of the things we are going through, we are allowed to, our emotions are locked up in our heart, and we as humans want to express them. We are humans after all. We are not machines. We have emotions, and we should express our emotions. The last in Ayub says I talked about validation, how we should validate the emotions of people instead of trying finding ways to correct them, or finding solutions. Maybe the first response is to be there, like your gentle presence, and of course validating them, making them to be seen, so that they can be seen, they can be understood, so that they know that they are being understood. Now, in this part, we'll be talking about. I'm trying to talk about allowing people to express their pain, or if you are the one in that situation, you are free to express your pain. You can call it complaint or whatever it is, but of course, there is always a line, and the line is you shouldn't hate God. You shouldn't say a lot of terrible things, two terrible things. Okay, let's okay, if I had the time, I would have read everything Job said, but of course, I want you to go back there and see it yourself. He was complaining as someone who was in grievous pain, like someone who was in, as anyone who in such grief would do. He says, "What have I done unto you, O you watcher of men? If I have sinned, forgive me. What have I done, O you watcher of men? Why is your eyes on me? What is man that you are mindful of us?" Of course, from Psalm chapter 8 is similar, but Job was coming from the place of grief, and the psalmist was coming from the place of awe and reverence, right? So you were like, why are you so much concerned about us? What is it? What are we that you're looking into matter, every details of our life. Funny enough, some people believe that of course there is a God, but he's just there. He's not interested in our day-to-day activity. But surprisingly, and of course, I and Job share the same question. Like, why? Why is God, you know, interested in every detail and matters of our lives? I don't have the answer to that question. It is what it is. God created us in His own image, and He wants us to live for His glory. So let's go back to what it is we are talking about. Is it a wrong thing to complain? Like I said, depending on what you call complain. If you reason complain to being, you know, very bitter at God, that is not good. That is not how we should be. But you are allowed to express your emotion, because if you keep those emotions in piled up there, you will go crazy. Number one, you may turn to a beast. Number two, number three, you might become something very very terrible. Like I can't imagine what you'll be. So it's not wrong to express your emotions. It's not wrong to talk about the way you feel. It's not wrong to, say your grief. When people are really really grievous or depressed, they have a way of using words, and it's because of their in that state. Releasing your emotions, it has been understood that releasing your emotion, like complaining, talking about the way you will feel, how it is in your heart, especially those in very very difficult situation, has a way of releasing dopamine that makes them feel good at that time. Because I was looking at this things, and I was considering why people need to let out their emotions, and I discovered that people let out their emotions because they feel good when they do that. And my question is, why do we want to feel good, right? Why do we want to feel good? To tell you that the human being, we want pleasure, we want to feel good, we want to, we want a break, right? That is how we are made. That is how the way God. That's how God made us. That's how God made us, right? That's how God made us, and we want people that are around us to give us that same vibe, that same energy of feeling good about ourselves, doing things the right way, yeah. And that is why God gives us His commandment, because He knew that when we obey His commandment, in the long run, it should to be well with us. He knows that we want it to be well with ourselves, and He gave us His instructions and commandment because He know that in the long run it shall be well with us. And that is why those commands and those instructions of God are there for our pleasure and for our good. Now back to what we are saying. When someone is in really difficult situation, let them express themselves. Say the way they feel. Talk it out how it is in their heart. You only do this to be there for them, to validate them. And of course, in the right time, when you think that they are swaying away, they are moving away, they are leaving their faith, because sometimes difficult situations might have the tendency of taking us away, or making us to take ourselves away from the hand of God. Like when you decide that you don't want to serve God again, it's your decision, and those difficult situations can be a way of deceiving you and making you feel like God hates you and all those stuff. So if you are there for such a person feeling that way, you can be there to nudge them back to God and say, see, I know this has been going on in your life. Like, use beautiful words, use very skillful words, use very persuasive words, use very wonderful words to tell them, see, a lot of bad things have happened. It's very difficult, but you need to know that God is on your side. God is for you, and God is by your side. I'm telling you, if you're listening to me and you are in such a situation, God is on your side. God is by your side. I um some few days back, my wonderful friend, my Indian friend, posted a very wonderful poem, and was talking about how beautiful this silence is. She's not judged by the silence. The silence won't judge you. You can scream at it. You can talk to it. Is your best companion. Is always available, and all of those that. And this made me realize, you know, when God is silent, right? A lot of times when God is silent, it seems as if we are praying to nothing. It seems as if we are talking to nothing. There is no feedback. There is no communication. We tend not to receive the communication as we think we should, right? But of course, God is always, I believe personally that God is always communicating back to us, but we may not be feeling it. We may not be getting it at that time. It might be the silence of God communicating to us. Even in His silence, He speaks. Yeah, even in God's silence, God speaks, and He's communicating to us even in that silence. So it may seem to be silent for us at that time. Even in that silence, God is our great companion, right? Even in that silence, God is our what? Is our great companion. God is is our company. God is our friend, and yeah, and He's there with us. So when she talk about how that poem, that the silence is always there, God is always there. God's silence is also a reflection of His love, that we experience that sweetness even when He's silent. We experience that pleasure even when He's silent. We experience and we feel our relationship with Him even when He's silent, and we become stronger. We become more devoted. We become truly, like, we feel the trueness of our faith and our belief in God. As I said earlier, and I'll say it again, the Holy Spirit is our great comforter. No matter what it is you are going through, whatever it is, you might be heartbroken, might be have a broken heart, but Jesus is in the business of healing broken. I say the Spirit of the Lord is upon me because He has anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor, to heal the broken heart. Jesus is in the business of healing the broken heart. Yes, and he's the only one who does that best. Of course, therapists can do their work and try hard, manage the situation or maybe even solve the situation. But Jesus said, "My peace I give to you, not as the world gives." He said, you know, all you who labor and are heavy laden, I said, "Come unto me, all you who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." Yeah, I wish I could tell you something else about talking about Jesus, but it is what it is. Jesus is, our healer. Jesus is the only one who can help us, who can help you. Even in his silence, he speak. Pray to him and have faith. Pray to him by faith and listen to his silence. Listen to his silence, and you see yourself getting better. You see yourself becoming a better person. You see yourself, enjoying your life. Even in that silence, of course, it will be difficult. If God is silence, it's difficult, right? But you will know that through it all, his presence has been there with you. Through it all, he has been there with you. Through it all, he never left you. Jesus will never leave you. Through it all, excuse me. Through it all, he's with you, and he will help you. So yeah, whoever it is, maybe it's you or whoever is around you are in a grievous situation, don't stop them. Don't tell them, no, 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 don't say that. Don't be immature. Don't be, insensitive. Let them speak. And when is the right time, validate their emotion and show them the love that Jesus gives. Thank you very much and have a wonderful time. It was nice talking with you. See you next time. Take care. Bye bye.